All right, it says we're live. Hello, we're ready to go. Hello, I'm Chris Freytag, founder of Get Healthy U and Get Healthy U TV, and this is Lindsey Bomgren, the beautiful trainer on Get Healthy U TV, as well as she has her own website, nourishmovelove.com. And we are so happy to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm excited.
It's fun. I love having someone else who can answer the questions with me. So we're so glad all of you are joining us. We have an hour of GHU TV live Q&A right now. You can always rewatch, just so you know, you can rewatch the last 7 months or 8 months of Q&A at gethealthyutv.com. Just look for the drop down where it says live Q&A, and you can watch all the past ones if you'd like. But we have a lot of pre-asked questions, and we have questions coming in. So I want to introduce our moderator for tonight, the lovely Katie Hosley, one of our interns. Hi, Katie.
Hello.
And she so kindly gave up her time tonight. And so she's going to be asking the questions. Lindsey and I will kind of tag team each other, and let's get this show started.
Woo-hoo.
So Katie, go ahead. You start us off with the questions.
Okay, so we have some questions coming in live. The first one is from Sarah, and she asks, do either of you track your macros? If so, what % do you dedicate to carbs, fat, and protein? And do you have macro guidelines for weight loss?
Okay, Sarah, that's a good question. I'll just quickly tell you what I do. I don't necessarily track them, but I've been eating healthy for a really long time, so I don't necessarily count exactly. I kind of feel like I subscribe to the 40-30-30 program, 40% carbs, 30 and 30 fats and protein. But you know, for weight loss, you do want to cut down on carbs, only because most people, when they overeat carbs, are eating the wrong carbs. You know, I don't care if you overeat veggies or carrots or something which is a veggie, but still has some carbohydrate in it. But, you know, most people go for the cookies and the crackers and the chips. So you kind of want to be careful with that. So I do kind of prescribe to the 40-30-30. Do you?
So I personally, I'm very similar to you in the sense that I've been eating clean now for a while. And so when I was in my bikini fitness competition days, I did count my macros for the first competition I did. And I got too crazy. Like numbers, just too much. So it just didn't work for me. So the second time I trained, I didn't even track it. I just like stick to, I'm pretty similar in that sense. Now I'm eating a little bit more protein, growing a human, trying to eat a little bit more and healthy fats. So I have a higher fat diet. I eat a very high fat diet.
Which is good. Hey, by the way, she is pregnant. So
there's a little baby.
Oh, it's so
I'll show
cute.
you the bump.
It's the
There's
cutest
the bump.
baby bump ever. And I love that you said, when I was doing bikini competitions, I was never doing bikini competitions, and most of us aren't. But
Right.
I mean, to that point, Sarah, who asked this question, you know, the zone diet, the old zone diet was the 40-30-30. You cannot eliminate, in my personal opinion, carbohydrates because they are your brain and energy food.
Yes.
Healthy fats are great for you. But if you start prescribing to eating 5 fruits and vegetables a day, at least 5 servings, and then you add in a couple of healthy proteins and fats, you kind of are satiated. You're not even that hungry. So I hope that helped you, Sarah.
Yes. I would say if I count anything, it's grams of sugar.
Yeah, me. Good
If I
point.
count anything,
Good
I count
point.
grams of sugar.
Holidays are coming up. Avoid that added sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, great answer. So the next question is from Peg, and she asks, I'm 64 in good health, but I haven't done much exercise in 2 years. Where do I start to get back on track?
Okay, well, I'll start with that one since I'm 51, and I'm going to be 51 on Monday. I'm closer in age. So 64, haven't done a lot of exercise. Okay, here's the message I want to give you. You are never too old. You are never too late to get started again or for the first time with exercise. Miriam Nelson wrote all those books, Strong Women Stay Young. She did some studies with women in their mid-60s that were building muscle, losing fat, getting mobile. I mean, so it's never too late. But you want to start slowly, especially as we're older, because our joints aren't used to all that weight bearing or that movement, and it just takes a little bit longer to warm up and a little bit more recovery. But start with walking workouts at Get Healthy U TV. We have the Walk and Tone program, which is awesome. It's in-home walking and has some strengthening. And the Move to Lose is a really nice beginner program for just getting started, which it's like 10-minute workouts. They're not difficult, but they're really good for beginners. And there's some good yoga in there. And then, you know, progress up. I see a lot of 60-year-old women at the club, at the health club, you know, that are killing it basically, but they've probably been exercising for years. So here's the thing. Do not give up on yourself. Get it going. Start with walking at least 3-4 times a week. Get some strength training in, because muscle's the key to metabolism as we age. And then listen to your body. If you do hit that wall where you're like, oh man, my shoulder's really feeling it, or my hip, make sure you stretch and then give yourself maybe a little extra rest. And baby steps is key. I mean, even when you're younger, baby steps is key, right?
Yeah, I think anyone starting out, baby steps.
Yeah, because if you overdo it, then you're going to say, I don't like this.
And you're like super sore and you're like, this is terrible. Like, you know what I mean? Because you're like super sore and you try to go do something the next day and you're like, this is, yeah.
So start with baby steps. And good for you for getting started. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, the next question comes from Molly, and she asks, what's a great way to relieve sore muscles besides stretching?
You want to take this one?
Oh, foam rolling. Foam rolling is my number one. I love me a good foam roll.
Me too.
Holding on those points, rolling it out with a foam roller. You can get those. I mean, you can buy them, you know, I don't know if you saw them.
Target has them.
Target or Amazon, you can get them pretty cheap. But a good foam roll, especially through like your hips, if you're running or just anywhere, really just rolling over your entire body and then holding for like 30 seconds on those pain points or those pinpoints.
Those trigger points, yeah. And so, you know, in terms of foam rolling, it's myofascial release. It's like, you know, that feeling of somebody digging their elbow in and helping release those adhesions. Really, what happens underneath our skin is that fascia gets like webbed and can get tight. And the other thing I was just saying is on Get Healthy You, we have, we recently just put up, it might even be on the homepage, a new article about how to use a foam roller. And then we have a foam roller workout. So
there you go.
There you go.
Okay. Laura just asked, your workout calendars have one workout on a given day. Do you recommend combining calendars, 2 workouts to include cardio and strength training?
Well, yeah, a lot of the workouts do. I mean, a lot of the calendars do have 2 workouts on a day. Like right now in the Get Healthy You TV Facebook group, we're doing the Firm and Burn and the Move to Lose. We always do 2 calendars in the Facebook group so that beginners can do one and advanced can do the other. And some days we do have 2 workouts. But sometimes we only put 1 because we know people are tight on time. And studies have proven that 20 minutes of intense workout is better than an hour of a slow, non-mindful workout. So if you really only are, have 20 minutes, go hard, go big, do your best for like 20 minutes. But that being said, if you feel good and you're like, hey, I just did 20 minutes and I've got the time and the desire to do 20 more, go for it, girlfriend. I'm like, do it. But just let it be known that it's not a bad idea to do 20 minutes. It's good, right?
Right. I think it's like so funny. And me and you are both group fitness instructors. So we're part of the culture who's created this 60-minute workout. Like, like you've got to do an hour workout, come to group fitness. And because most group fitness classes they are starting to, that culture is shifting a little bit. You're seeing 35-minute group fitness classes. You're seeing 45-minute group fitness classes. But I think that was really ingrained in us at some point in our lives that you have to work out for an hour or 60 minutes.
Yeah. And
it's not true.
Well, and it goes to intensity too. So that, more intense workout with a higher heart rate is going to give you better, what they call EPOC. So exercise post oxygen consumption after the workout, which means that you'll still be burning calories, even though you're done with your workout. You might be blow drying your hair. You might be sitting in your car. You might be sleeping, but you're burning more calories. So go intense for shorter periods of time if that's what your schedule allows. However, typical of me, I'm answering like 7 questions at once. Her main question was, can I do 2 workouts? And the answer is yes, yes, and yes.
If you feel from like, whatever your body says, like if there's days you're like, today it's 1 workout, maybe it's 2. I don't know.
Yep, I love that.
Okay. LJ just asked, what are your thoughts on apple cider vinegar, water, honey drinks? So I think like the 3 separate ones.
Okay, well, I have a lot of opinion on that, and I'll be interested to see what you say. So we just put up a blog about apple cider vinegar. I drink apple cider vinegar almost every morning. So here's what I do. I put 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar along with about 8 to 12 to 16 ounces of water. It depends on the day. I think my glass is like 12 ounces. It's a pretty intense flavor. So if you only add like 4 ounces of water, it's like, holy cow, it's really intense to drink vinegar. So I like to have a little extra water in it. Now, why do I drink it? Vinegar, as strangely as it is, seems like it would be acidic, but it's not. What vinegar, I take that back. Apple cider vinegar is not acidic. Other vinegars are. Apple cider vinegar is the one vinegar that creates alkaline in your body, and we want to have an alkaline environment in our body because disease can't live in alkaline. It lives in acidic. So even though it seems acidic, it is a good thing for your body. The other thing that apple cider vinegar does is it increases your stomach acid. Again, I know that sounds confusing because you're saying, wait, you said it wasn't acidic. It is not acidic in your body, but it increases stomach acid, which helps with digestion. So I use it in the morning to alkaline my body and to improve digestion. And then the other thing it does is if you're constipated, you won't be. after you drink your apple cider vinegar. So it's the most natural way for women at any age that says, hey, I'm a little constipated, that's going to help. That being said, I also love lemon water. So some mornings I drink lemon water instead of ACV, as it's affectionately called. I might be traveling and I'm going to use lemon instead of because I'm not going to carry apple cider vinegar with me. So that's, you know, and there are a bunch of other things in the blog. We tell a bunch of other uses, like to help with acne, to help with this and that for apple cider vinegar. So I'm a huge fan, but apple cider vinegar is very different than like white balsamic. It reacts very differently in your body. And it's kind of I'm a big believer. So how do you feel about it? And being pregnant, do you use it?
So I do. I love apple cider vinegar for a majority of things. A lot of things, like you were mentioning, all that good stuff. For me, it's like that helps. It helps keep me regular too.
Yeah.
But actually, what I do, so I'm more of in the morning. I do like a lemon ginger tea with collagen peptides.
Yeah.
So I get a little bit of protein in the morning if I can't have something to eat, because I'm an early workout person. So I like to get up and work out right away. And then I actually prefer my apple cider vinegar drinks cold. So I do it like as an afternoon drink. And if you guys haven't seen, I think, honestly, not like replacing it, but like apple cider vinegar drinks are becoming the new kombuchas.
Yeah, they are. You can buy them.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen.
But why pay money when you just put it in a glass?
I was going to say, you can make it at home. But if you guys have seen, if you're looking for that carbonated beverage replacement mid-afternoon, they are making now those carbonated apple cider vinegar drinks that are similar to kombucha, and they have, you know, they're different health benefits than kombucha too, but similar in some respects too.
Well, you bring up the idea that it's also fermented.
Right.
But interesting. Okay, she asked about honey too. A lot of people add the honey in there because it makes it more palatable. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, a teaspoon of honey to ease the pain or cut the vinegar flavor is no problem at all. Interesting that you have a cold. I have a room temperature. It doesn't matter. Like, people get all hooked up on what temperature or how much water. It's kind of up to you. And you, I go with the lemon. Hey, and we have you have to try this. We have this recipe on Get Healthy You called creamy turmeric. It's turmeric, creamy turmeric drink. And it's like cashew milk with turmeric and
cinnamon, like a dash of cinnamon. I drink that at night.
Yeah. And so, to me, since we're talking about drinks, that's a really soothing drink for nighttime.
Yes.
Like maybe you do the ACV in the morning and then you do something like that in the evening.
Yes. So I'm like my warm lemon ginger water in the morning. Midday, I'm like a little shot of apple cider vinegar. It kind of gives me like a pick me up, you know?
Yeah.
And then at night, I'm like, give me almond milk or cashew milk with some turmeric in it and a little cinnamon and like that warm cinnamon.
I'm having that
kind of like chai latte, you know, but it's like a turmeric. It's got like the.
Okay, I know this is a little off topic, but I was born on Halloween. I absolutely love everything pumpkin. I love everything chai. I love all that harvesty fall type flavor. If any of you guys are listening, go on Get Healthy You. We have like so many pumpkin recipes. It's ridiculous, but I love it so much.
I know.
All right. Okay, let's move on. Go ahead, Katie.
Okay, the next question. Angie just asked, do you suggest not eating past a certain time at night?
Do you have a feeling on that? I'll
say
what I feel.
I would say I used to, like in my head, it used to be like, no, past 7 p.m. because this is what I read in, Cosmopolitan magazine and things of that nature. But as I've gotten more in tune with my body and more in tune with what, when I'm hungry, if I'm craving certain things, it means it's because I'm probably lacking something. Like, for example, when I crave chocolate, I'm probably lacking magnesium and calcium or something of that nature. Or maybe I just want chocolate,
Let's cut to the chase.
Right. But so I've gotten a little bit more in tune with my body in that sense. And so if I am hungry at night and maybe I have like an early morning workout, or maybe I did a late night workout too, it all depends on my day, my activity level. I'm not going to say no. I just try to stick to maybe protein that night, or a hummus and veggies, or I try to, if I do, if I'm craving carbs, then I will have, maybe I'll make some oatmeal or something. But I like to do at night, especially if I have a sweet tooth, you guys, my go-to is Greek yogurt. And I put a little bit of
every night, Greek yogurt every night.
So I do Greek yogurt, put a little bit of peanut butter in there, maybe a honey, and maybe a couple chocolate chips. And it's like cookie dough.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with, you know what I put in it? Pistachios.
Oh,
pistachios. And I love pistachios with little cacao nibs, and then Greek yogurt.
So like,
but what
do? And you're getting protein, you're getting, like healthy fats, like,
and that satiates you. So you don't go for those sugary carbs. But what I was gonna say is, I learned this early on in nutrition training, that a calorie at 6 a.m. is the same calorie at 6 p.m. A calorie at noon is the same calorie at midnight. It's gonna react the same way in your body. Here's the problem. At night, we kind of let our guard down. And so a lot of people will, like 8, 9, 10 p.m. That's when they kind of let let the problems happen. So that's where that whole advice of don't eat at night came from, because dietitians started saying, oh, okay, don't eat at night, because that was a really easy way to tell your clients not to have any carbs at night. So you just have to be moderate at night. But like if you get home from work late and you need to eat, then eat.
Right.
You're not going to skip eating for that reason. So.
And I would say, like, to that point, just mindful eating is really important. That's something I struggle with, because at nights, maybe when you're watching TV, so it's like when one handful turns into 20 handfuls, versus just like making yourself a bowl and like, this is my portion. I bring it down. If I want to eat in front of the TV, that's fine.
But like, careful. And I do that too, because I'm a popcorn person. I love popcorn. But if I like to make homemade popcorn, but I'm human. And so I buy Angie's Boom Chicka Pop. I'm obsessed. But if I eat out of the bag, like I'll go, oh my gosh, I just ate half this bag. So I, like you, I'll measure it into a bowl. So I'm like, I'm only eating 1 serving or 2 servings and not 5.
Yes.
So think about that.
Yes.
Okay. The next question is from Shelly, and she says, can you explain the difference between the benefits of chia seeds and flax seeds? I've been taking flax to help lower my cholesterol. Which one is better for that?
Well, I don't know if you have an opinion. I mean, they're both good for it because they're both omegas. They're both ALAs.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of both doing the same purpose. Like I either add flax or chia seeds to my smoothies. And like when I bake, I use flax seed a lot more than chia. It's a good, like for instance, the muffin in a minute on Get Healthy You. If you go to Get Healthy and check out the muffin in a minute recipe, it's flax and an egg and some oil and some blueberries and walnuts, and it like makes this amazing muffin. You couldn't do that with chia. But I don't really think that one is better than the other. Do you?
So I think I like to think of like flax. So flax, obviously, it needs to be ground in order for you to get the nutritional benefits of it.
Yes, don't just eat the seeds.
So don't just eat the seeds. Make sure it's ground flax.
But chia, you just eat the seeds.
But chia, you just eat the seeds. So that's like one thing that can be confusing, I think, to people, because I've had a lot of people just use the flax seed. Make sure you grind them. But literally, when you grind that flax seed, it's almost like, think of it like a toothbrush for your intestines. It's really good, too, at helping getting everything moving and stuff, flaxes. And like you said, I tend to err on flax when I'm baking. And if you are egg free, for anyone who's egg free out there, you can substitute eggs by making a flax egg, where you mix flax with like a tablespoon of water, and you mix it and let it sit for 5 minutes. It'll thicken up, and you can use it as like an egg replacement, basically, in baking. So it's a great binding agent.
But they're both ALAs. Okay, so out of the omega-3s,
so
they're both the
cholesterol.
Yeah, they're both the ALA, so they're both good for reducing cholesterol.
Yes.
Do whichever works for whatever you're eating or what you like the taste of.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question comes from Laura, and she says, I saw a recommendation for NeoCell Collagen on Get Healthy You. Why do you recommend this brand? And the dosage says 6 tablets. Do you split them and take half in the morning and half in the evening?
Okay, I'll talk about NeoCell. And we also, both of us, like Vital Proteins, which is a powdered collagen. But so here's the deal with NeoCell. It was about 4 years ago. I was having mega skin problems, like serious breakouts across this portion of my face, like so bad. Pregnancy. You know, you look great. Seriously. But you know that when your little sister goes, wow, that is crazy. You know, you don't look good, right? So it was really upsetting me, and I couldn't figure it out. And I did a lot of research online and with my dermatologist, who basically, she didn't know what to do. So I started eliminating foods, because typically anything coming out on the skin will have to do with what you're putting in your body and your gut. And I started researching and came upon a lot of information on how collagen and hyaluronic acid, as you get older, are really good for your skin. So I just, ordered up this NeoCell because I saw a recommendation online, and it was NeoCell Collagen 1 and 3, which are the 2 that are good for skin. And then hyaluronic acid is an accelerator. So I would, you take the 2 together. So when I first got the NeoCell, like it says, it's 6 pills, and they're like horse pills. So I would take half of it in the morning and half of it at night. And my skin literally cleared up overnight. And it could have just been me. I don't think it's placebo effect, because I used it for like a year, and I felt, literally cleared up my skin. So then I stopped taking it when I ran out, and my skin, like I didn't have it for like 5 days. And all of a sudden I started noticing these white pustules on my skin. I really thought I had rosacea is what I thought. It was just a mess. So that point being said, now that I've been taking it for so many years, I only take half. I just take 3 collagen pills with 1 hyaluronic acid, 1 HA, and I do it at night because that's when I can remember. So that's what I do now. I never miss it, because seriously, when I run out of it, I notice like a big difference. And collagen in general is good for hair, skin, and nails as we age. And I liked to take the oral because it was easy. I've had girlfriends who have said they can't do it because the pills are too big, but I mean, I've never had a problem with that. So everyone's different. Now, powdered collagen is a good option. And you could add it to your protein shakes instead of protein powder. Go ahead and talk about powdered collagen, because I know you use that.
I like it. Like I said, so I actually add it to my morning warm, like lemon ginger water as a great way to get a couple like the branched chain amino acids.
Because you're getting the collagen and the
so it's a lower. It's like 9 grams of protein typically per scoop. So depending on what you want to do, but it is flavorless, so you can add it, or you can get flavored stuff, I'm sure too. But you can get the flavoredless stuff. So it's just a great way to get extra protein in. And like you said, it's great for skin, hair, and nails, and just overall supporting. If you're an athlete and you're running and competing in marathons or anything of that nature, it's great for joints, bone. So I actually got into collagen because of stress fractures. So I was having stress fractures while doing marathon training and trying to find ways.
This girl is active.
So when I was marathon training, so that's how a dietitian recommended. She was like, have you heard of collagen? You should start adding collagen to your diet. And so then the benefits just kind of like, I just learned more about it.
Good.
And now that I'm growing a human, it's even gotten a ton more benefits.
Yeah, that is a good benefit.
Right?
Well, and so to answer your question then, this was Laura, I think, do what works for you. I like the pills because I'm very religious about it every single night. It really cleared up my skin for me. And I did start out with full dose, went to the half dose, but just getting extra collagen through like a powdered form, if you're not a pill person, is a good thing. And the NeoCell also has some has a powdered form also. So check it out.
Okay. So Kim asked, I find it hard to lose weight around my middle. What are the best core exercises and what to eat to help get rid of that middle tire?
Everybody has that problem. Go ahead.
Right.
Start.
I would say, first off, it's not necessarily core exercises. So that middle extra ground, yes, we all think like abs, I got to get those abs, but really it's about nutrition is like 80% of it. And yes, you can work out and you can do, I would say, up your cardio game a little bit if you're trying to lose that extra fluff. It's not necessarily about doing crunches because you got to shed the pounds before you can see the results.
Right. My favorite line, I've heard it. I said, you want to move the 6-pack to the front of the fridge.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Move the 6-pack. So nutrition is really important, especially if you are trying to tighten up a little bit and lose those extra pounds around the midsection.
And to her point, it's not always crunches. It's not always ab exercises that give you abs. It's planks. It's things like, Lindsey leads Bar Sculpt. Her Bar Sculpt workouts on Get Healthy UTV are awesome because sometimes you don't even realize what you're doing to use your core. As a matter of fact, for the last 2 days, I've done a lot of like planking in my live classes that I teach. And yet today I was like touching right here and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sore right here. And it's got to be from all the different planking. I was doing side planks, front, prone planks, all that stuff. But food, you can't out-train a bad diet. Like if you're, working out during the week and then you go, well, I'm just gonna have pizza and beer all weekend, then it's harder to shed that extra core weight. So it's a lot of diet and then good exercise.
Yeah, and I'd say and it goes hand in hand with everything too, like your sleep and your stress, like cortisol. That's where we tend to carry cortisol receptors. So if you are really stressed out, that can add to it too. So it's just that overall healthy balance between clean diet and getting good sleep and making sure you're managing your stress levels, getting in good.
So cortisol and insulin, the two, I call them the fat storing hormones. So if you got extra insulin because you're eating too much sugar and your body's trying to get rid of it, or if you got extra cortisol because you're so stressed out, they just like to land right in the middle, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So those are two things to reduce to.
Okay, our next question comes in live from Kirsten, and she asks, of all the workout programs you have at Get Healthy U, which do you feel is best for a person who's reasonably in shape and needs to lose 20 or so pounds? So kind of which is the most challenging?
Well, okay. First of all, the program that you and I just did, the Bodyweight Fusion. I still laugh about that day that we filmed those because that was hard. It was hard. I get so fatigued filming some of these workouts, where we were looking at each other going, darn, those are going to be tough workouts.
Right.
I would say the Bodyweight Fusion is super challenging. I would say Lindsey's, we call it the metabolic reboot. You want to speak to that workout?
Yeah. I mean, I do it now and I was like, man, I kicked my own butt. I was in such good shape when I filmed those workout videos. I was doing them when I was pregnant this Saturday and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I can be like this again.
Yes,
no, they're challenging. It's really tough, but they're like those 20 minutes, but you can double them up if you want to. They are 20-minute workouts though. So they're meant to be really high intense for 20 minutes. So a great option to pair those with would be even to do like power yoga, pair it with one of the power yoga or Pilates or one of those videos, or pair it with one of the body weight something, or core or strength training too. Some of them are, there's a good mix, but you can pair them. Like I would do like a good power yoga maybe at the beginning or the end, and then crush those 20 minutes really hard. And
I agree. And also, so the Metabolic Reboot, that program of Lindsay's is really intense. The Bodyweight Fusion, the one that we did together. I would also say, gosh, I can't help it. I love them all, because definitions is all strength, but I have people tell me time and time again that it's their favorite program because there is no jumping, but it's intense. And they always say they're dripping in sweat. I have people tell me that they love the HIIT, the True Tabata HIIT workouts, which is the HIIT program. So we love to mix it up, which is why we have all those combo calendars. So if you check out, if you look at the column of calendars on Get Healthy UTV, the Firm and Burn is a combo. The Total Body Transformation is a combo. The Bridal Boot Camp is a combo. I'm trying to think, we have 2 new ones, Body Chisel and Fluid Strength. Those are both combos. Yeah. So, and they combine a lot of Lindsay's programs, my programs, Amy's programs, Jennifer's programs. So you've got a lot of different stuff going on, and it's, so go for it.
Right. I would say there's so much to be said about just keeping it fresh.
Mixing it. Yeah. Yeah. I just myself.
Challenging is your soreness,
I want change all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question comes from Sue, and she asks, is there anything special to do to help get rid of cellulite besides clean eating and weight and cardio workouts?
That's interesting. I'll tell you why it's interesting, because I bought this thing that's supposed to rub your cellulite, and I'll tell you why. I don't know if this woman is even listening. Somebody went on to our Facebook page and said, hey, you have to try this fat blaster thing. It's supposed to reduce your cellulite. So I was like, well, whatever, but I like to try things because I really like to be able to then give advice. So, obviously eating clean, obviously strength training is going to make the difference, but I bought this thing and I got it home. And first of all, I'm just irritated because I don't want to sit there. When you get it home, see, there's always a catch, right? It's like rub your leg for 20 minutes.
20 minutes
time to do that. So you got the back, you're like, by the time you do the other, like, forget it. Like, I'm not going to do that every day. And really the idea behind it is blood flow. It's creating circulation. So you could body scrub, I hear a lot of people who body brush or body scrub, but at the end of the day, strength training, tightening those hamstring muscles. So instead of being loose, and it doesn't even matter the amount of fat you have, it's also just about loose fibers. And if you can tighten them up, then the fat can't pillow through. So good strength training, good hydration, and good diet. Yeah. Do you have any tips? Is there an exercise that you have that's your favorite for hamstrings?
Oh, hamstrings, deadlifts. Because I get sore every time. Straight leg deadlifts.
They're hard.
I'm gonna get sore every time.
Yeah, I like hamstring roll-ins on the ball too.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Those I feel working. I try to do those a couple times a week because I'm like, I can tell that's.
You can really feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next question comes in live from Wendy, and she asks, I've been doing stretching and yoga for lower back pain on my sacrum. My hip has started to pop or click when I do certain exercises. Any recommendations?
Well, okay, a couple, and I'll let you say what you want. But so hip popping of a joint is not necessarily bad unless you got some pain going along with it, or it feels like it's popping out. When someone says to me something popped out, that's different than a popping noise. So keep that in mind. Second of all, your sacrum. So lower back pain, yes, stretching and yoga. It depends on how long you've had the lower back pain. So if it's something that just recently happened, it's acute pain, it's new pain, you should be able to ice it and then do some stretching and yoga, and hopefully just with a little rest, everything should go good. Right. If you have chronic back pain, which is what I have pretty much no disc between L4 and L5 anymore. It used to be a bulging disc, and now it's pretty much not there. Now, I'm lucky that I don't have any sciatica, so I have no nerve pain shooting down my leg. But what happened is, by having this pain, when I wake up in the morning, it's just stiff because all your back extensors are working to just protect those vertebrae. So for me, what's helped me personally is I put heat on my back every morning, because my back pain has not just been a week or two, it's been about 4 years. Oh. So I just put a heating pad on my back for 10 minutes as I'm doing other things, and just that gentle heat and then a little stretching, and the consistency of that, my back pain is virtually down to about, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's down to like a 2. So that's what's helped for me. If your hip though starts really doing weird popping things, then you might want to consult your chiropractor or your doctor. Do you have any stretches that you find?
I would say, like you said, you guys have a ton of blogs, I know, on
hip pain.
Hip and back pain.
Yeah.
So I know you can always check out those blogs, and you guys have a lot of great stretches that go with it.
One of our most popular blogs is the 12 yoga poses to beat back pain.
Yes. So I know you guys have a lot of great, but what I would say to that point is the one point you mentioned was consistency. It's not just like, hey, I did these stretches, I know, and it's like, you got to be a good, diligent person about it. You got to be consistent. It's hard. No one wants to stretch every day for back pain, you know, like, but if you're consistent, you got to be consistent.
That was my own therapy. I mean, that was my own, a taste of my own medicine. Like, I realized I kept getting so upset about my back pain. And then I was like, oh my gosh, take a taste of your own medicine and start being consistent. Because that was the key. Yeah. Go ahead, Katie.
So next question comes from Sam. Sam asks, I have a problem with circulation. Are there any particular practices or exercises I could do that could help with that?
Anything?
Blood flow, I mean, there's a lot. So I would say, actually, so even before you start an exercise or even when you're finishing blood flow, something that's really good is you can actually, like when you're stretching, like literally I'm going out into like reach for my toes, you're literally rubbing. So literally massaging yourself, creating blood flow, you know, like rubbing hard on your legs, especially.
Back to that body, what did I just call it?
Body brushing.
Body brushing. Yeah.
So body brushing.
Or body rolling.
Yep. Or foam rolling. So foam rolling or actually massaging yourself. It's that myofascial, that pressure applying. Another great thing you can do, I'm not sure if you have specific areas you struggle with blood flow but legs up the wall is always a great way.
That's a great pose. Legs up the wall is a great pose. Yes,
it's a great way to beat fatigue too, or just even it can either beat fatigue or help you sleep better at night too. Legs up the wall.
And so literally you just push your butt against the wall and you put your legs up the wall. And because you always want the blood flow to come back to the heart. And it's really hard, especially in the legs, to get the blood flow back to the heart. I was talking to a girlfriend the other day and she was like, oh, we did this, we did that. Then we did a little legs up the wall. Then we had a glass of wine. It just like flowed out of her mouth in conversation. I was like, I love it. You did legs up the wall?
Yes. So when I'm in a yoga class, if there's like they offer Savasana, then they're like, hey, we're going to take a 10-minute. I'll like be like, can I sneak my butt over to the wall? And I'll do legs up the wall.
And especially when you're pregnant, that's smart.
Yes.
And foam rolling, like you mentioned. So those are all good things. And just exercise in general.
Yes. Moving your body.
Promote circulation.
Moving your body.
Okay, next question is from Connie, and she asks, why is it so hard to lose weight during menopause, especially in the abdomen area?
You want me to
I'll let you take that one. I'll let you take that.
Oh my gosh. I know. Okay. So I am, what was your name? Connie? Connie.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to be 51 on Monday. I think I've said that twice now. I'm through menopause now. So I just found out through my doctor that I'm through it. But those perimenopausal years can be 10 years prior to menopause. And for most women, it's mid-50s that they actually hit the menopause. And then symptoms can continue on. So here's a couple of things that are happening. Your metabolism is slowing down. Potentially you're not replacing muscle. You're letting your muscle deteriorate. So you've got a little more fluffy fat, and then your body doesn't churn through as many calories. That's one problem. Two, there's a lot of stress that comes with older age. And a lot of times people say, oh, these are your golden years. Life is so good. But, bigger kids, bigger problems, bigger job, bigger problems. I mean, as you get older, things get stressful in some ways. So people have a lot of cortisol floating around. You're not sleeping as well because your hormones and just age changes that. So all these things are creating cortisol and causing belly fat. And if you're then eating comfort foods, that really causes the problem. So we ladies can combat weight gain, though. It's hard, but we can do it. So a couple things, you got to move more than you did before. So add on, like I tell people, add on an extra walk, add on a couple extra 100 calories. Sometimes I'm looking at my watch because I wear, an activity tracker. If you can burn an extra 200 calories a day, that you think, oh, what is that going to matter? But at the end of the week, at the end of 2 weeks, that's a full pound. So for the women who are gaining like 2 pounds a month and it's just creeping up there, those losing 200 extra calories a day could help you combat that. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So getting a little more exercise than you think you should. I feel like everybody underestimates what they're eating and overestimates how hard they're working out. Would you agree?
Yes.
No matter what your age.
Yeah.
So be a little more diligent on reducing any kind of added sugar and preservatives and food coloring and all that kind of stuff. Be a little more diligent to get a couple more extra minutes or steps in and more intense exercise, and get some sleep. Do anything you can. And for sleep, like some of the things that I've done is I got to turn off the TV. I've changed my phone so that my bright phone, I'm not looking at my bright phone right before I go to bed because that's a sleep interrupter. I've changed a couple different things to make my sleep better. So don't give up. You can do it. I see a lot of my friends and myself included making it through and being able to make little tiny changes. Again, I sound like a broken record. We have a blog about hormones after 50. We have a blog about how to combat menopause. So make sure you check it out on Get Healthy You.
Okay, next question comes in live from Cammie, and she asks or says, my wrists hurt during planks and push-ups. So do you have any suggestions to avoid this?
Yeah, I actually was just recently asked this, and something I didn't know, but did you know that wrist pain is associated with breastfeeding?
I did not know that.
I just learned that.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know if you're
when you're breastfeeding, your wrists are.
Yeah, it's a common symptom of breastfeeding is wrist pain. So I have a lot of women that are doing my program, doing the metabolic reboot, doing this stuff that they reach out because they're like, it's a lot of planks and push-ups. So my suggestion or my thoughts is just to one, you can go on dumbbells if that might help you support your wrist.
Stabilize.
So you just stabilize. You just literally go on dumbbells whenever you're planking or doing push-ups. 2 is just to take it down to low plank. So instead, whenever you're planking, go down to the forearms so you're off the wrists. And you can even transfer that into push-ups and dolphin push-ups. So it's where you shift your weight forward and then up and back, dolphin.
On your forearm.
Yeah, so that's a dolphin push-up is another form of a push-up if that's too much for your wrists. Otherwise, I do teach classes, so we do a lot of push-ups at the bar, which is more of an incline push-up. So you can take it up to an incline too if that's a little bit less pressure on the wrists.
I think that's a great idea because I think, especially for people who are just getting better at push-ups too.
Yes.
Do your push-ups on a chair. We talk about that. Do them on a wall. Do them on a bar. Yep. So less body weight into the push-up.
Yeah.
One other thing I sometimes think about too is if you're doing, like, let's say you're doing one of the videos and it's just too many push-ups for you, you could grab a set of dumbbells, go on your back, and do chest presses because now you're not putting body weight into the wrists. And for some people, if they had like a fractured wrist when they were younger or something, it always aches. Or wait, what about wrist guards too? Yeah, I see a lot of people put on wrist guards that you can just buy like at Walgreens, and that gives you a little stabilization.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a challenge that you face because especially in like body weight workouts or anything, a lot of workouts do a lot of planks and push-ups. But like you can always modify either drop into your forearms or anytime you push up, you can always.
I love.
Christy asked, how can I strength train when my tendonitis won't go away? Do you have any suggestions on working out arms and triceps without aggravating my elbow?
So it's elbow pain.
I was gonna say, where's the tendonitis?
Yeah, right. Ooh, they call it tennis elbow, which is kind of funny because you don't have to play tennis to get it. A lot of people, I've had friends who've gotten tennis elbow from doing warrior sculpt, any kind of a yoga class with weights where anytime the weight is away from your core, the longer the limb, the more pressure on the joint. So, and I've had friends who've gotten tendonitis from push-ups, like we were just talking. So, oh man, what can you do to, wait, what was the first part of the question?
To continue to strengthen arms, upper body.
Oh, so. Yeah. Doing exercises that aren't going to, first of all, always hinge at that elbow joint, doing shoulders with like lat raises. It's going to be tough though for some of the upper body things. You have to play around with like, does the rowing motion bother you? Sometimes the rowing motion is not as aggravating as like the kickback motion.
Right.
I had tendonitis once in my elbow and I used one of those Velcro supports that really helped me. Any suggestions?
Yeah, that is a tough one. But I would say, you want to stick away from the movement. So finding the movements that hurt and what doesn't hurt. And I don't know, I guess, specifically, but if using lower weights, so even like a lighter weight and doing just multiple reps. So almost like that Pilates bar of movement where you're holding and pulsing for the triceps with a 3-pound weight or even soup cans instead of using a 10-pound weight and doing hinging and kicking.
Right. So I think it goes back to like the advice I've heard from my brother who is an orthopedic. He'll say, well, when does it hurt? And I'll say, well, when I go like this. And he goes, don't go like that. That's his advice. So like really listen and say, which direction is the tendon being bothered? Kind of the rule of thumb is if like this does not hurt, then go ahead and do this. But if that hurts, do it. Find a different movement.
Right.
And compression sleeves. I've heard some people have good luck from that too. So give it a try.
Right. Maybe add some collagen to your diet. It's good for joint independence.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay, next question comes from Catherine, and she asks, as we head into food season, do you have any advice on how to handle eating with others when you're trying to make healthy food choices? For example, eating out with friends who want to share high-calorie foods, or family meals with food pushers.
I love how she calls it food season.
Yeah, right?
It is food season. Go ahead.
That is a great question. And I love how she referenced food pushers.
I know.
You know, like my mom's like, are you sure you don't want one of these? Are you sure you don't want one? It's like, I don't want one. I think the biggest thing is anytime you're going to a holiday party or any type of thing, bring a healthy dish to share. So bring something that you know that you want to, that you would enjoy that's healthy, and bring it to share for everybody. So then when the options are all set out, you know there's at least one healthy option for you because you brought it, right?
That is one of my favorite pieces of advice. I always do that. When I'm bringing the appetizer, I'm like, I'm going to bring one that I know at least I'll eat. Then there would be one thing that I will eat.
Yeah,
sure. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then if you're going to a party where it's just apps and you're going to be grazing, make sure you get something healthy in your system before, so you're not going and binge eating the appetizers that maybe aren't as healthy, or maybe it's a dessert bar or whatever that is. So weighing your odds, you know, like obviously don't eat before like a family meal, because you're going to a family meal to be with your family and to socialize and eat. But just bring that one dish that you know is going to be healthy and good for you. And then my biggest piece of advice, and I always say this, whether you're doing buffet style, whatever you're doing, always just think feelings on a plate. So literally, as I build my plate, how is this food going to make me feel? And I'm not saying that everything on your plate has to make you feel super awesome, but I know that if I eat a slice of greasy pizza, I'm not going to want to go for a run or play with my nephew and run around the yard with him afterwards.
Right.
Versus where if I fill my plate with a couple, you know, some good chicken, and yeah, I love stuffing come Thanksgiving too, and I love all those good things, but just being really mindful of how is this all going to make me feel afterwards, and just, yeah.
And that's all really good. So I love the association of feelings. That's super smart. Something that I would say is, first of all, and I love what you said, like if you're going to a grazing party, because there's a lot of holiday parties that are all like grazing parties where it's apps and alcohol. I always eat something before so that I'm not starving, because once you get a drink in you and you're starving, you're like, oh, well, I'll eat that quesadilla over there. You know, so get something in your stomach healthy so that you can have a few appies and you don't have to feel that way. But the other thing too, I think, is like for food pushers, you can very politely say no. It's so hard. Sometimes you're like, oh, okay, I'll have that. You know, you don't know what to do. But sometimes I'll say, you know what, I'm totally full. Thank you so much. But right now, I really don't want that right now. It doesn't have to necessarily be a mean comment on their cooking. You just don't want that right now. Or when someone will ask me like, oh, Chris, why aren't you eating that? I'm like, well, I just don't eat that. But I eat these things over here and I love them. And then, of course, just during the holidays, allow a little leeway because, hey, it's the holidays. But. Right.
And I like to like predetermine in my head, like if I know I'm going to the same family gathering I go to every year, I know grandma brings pumpkin bars, I know my mom makes truffles, I know whatever, you know, like I know what everyone makes and I kind of know what's going to be there. Yeah. I pick like in my head, these are the 2 to 3 I'm going to let myself have.
Right.
And I make up my mind ahead of time.
That's
good. So then when I get there, I'm not like, oh, you know.
Pre-plan.
Yes.
It's like the best tip in health, pre-plan.
Yeah.
Okay, next one is from Jennifer, and she says, hello, we have learned about the importance of getting protein into the body within 2 hours of finishing a strength training workout to help with muscle repair and building muscle. But what about after just cardio workouts? Do you still need to get protein in that 2-hour window, or what is best for post-cardio workouts?
Well, I'll give you my opinion. You know, you're using your muscles when you're doing cardio. You're moving, you're running, you're jumping, you're putting your arms up overhead. So you're pretty much, for any workout, you're going to be using some sort of muscle. So the same kind of refueling matters. To even use up more of your stored glycogen, so your stored sugars. So it still kind of goes back to that idea of try to get something into your system within 2 hours. Even better would be within 30 minutes, and go for a combination of healthy carbs, protein, and healthy fats. And try to do your carbs and protein at a ratio of like 3 carbs to every 1 protein gram to create that meal afterwards. But it's still, in my opinion, very important.
Yeah.
How about you?
I totally agree. And I mean, it depends on what cardio can mean. Anything, right? It can mean a workout. It can mean going for a run. It can mean using the row machine or the stair stepper. But
it can mean walking down the street. So
right.
It depends.
So it all depends on what your version of cardio is. But, you know, activity level, input, output, same thing.
Yeah.
And your muscles, yeah.
Yeah, still
replenishing.
You know, we don't want to think just counting calories is not really the way to go anymore. I mean, it's more about the quality of food we found from science, but it still does matter. Energy flow in, energy flow out.
Yeah.
Okay, next question comes live from Kristen, and she asks, why do I weigh a few pounds more since I started weight training? Is this because they say muscle weighs more than fat?
Bada bing!
Right.
You nailed it. You answered your own question. I'm so glad you know that. Yes, muscle weighs more than fat. So as you start strength training, you are losing fat and putting on muscle, and that lean muscle mass is going to weigh more. It makes your body more dense. It also burns more calories. It also heightens your metabolism and does amazing things for you. So yeah, I always say, like, the scale is so challenging, you guys. I bet your clothes fit better. I bet you feel better, but you might weigh more, and you're like, come on, this isn't adding up.
Yeah, and so I'll use a live example of my sister. One of my sisters called me and she said, okay, I've been seriously good for a month, which is a huge thing for her. Working out 3 mornings a week at 6 a.m., which is a huge thing for her. And she's been doing strength training, and she's been so consistent. She said, I haven't lost a pound. And so that was upsetting her. And I said, well, here's the deal. You are probably gaining muscle. I mean, you don't gain muscle at these huge, crazy gains. Like, you don't gain 10 pounds of muscle in 1 month. It takes time. But she's probably gaining muscle while reducing fat, but they're kind of like crossing each other out.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't feel like she's having that quick weight loss. But I will say one thing, and I'm going to giggle about this. Muscle weighing more than fat. Everything weighs the same. Like, a pound of muscle and a pound of fat weighs a pound. All right. But muscle is more dense than body fat, as Lindsey said. And body fat, I always say, is like cotton candy. It's fluffy, airy. So when you look at the pound of muscle and the pound of fat, the pound of muscle is like small, like your fist, and dense. And the pound of fat is big and fluffy. So it takes more space. So as you're replacing that fat with muscle, the muscle's more dense. You're going to look smaller, or you're going to feel smaller. Your clothes are going to fit better, but you aren't necessarily, to Lindsey's point, losing the weight. So you're doing the right thing. Don't give up on yourself. I just had this conversation with my sister. Like, don't give up on yourself.
Yes.
So.
And don't measure your value in the scale either necessarily.
Never.
If you're like really serious and you want those measurable results, I would say find a local trainer or something of that nature and get your body fat tested. Your body fat is going to be your best measure. I think too, like, if you really want to track and you need that, like, a tangible goal, you can get your body fat tested and you can really track those numbers
and reduce the body fat.
And reduce your body fat percentage.
Who cares? Like, you can put 350-pound women next to each other and they can all be different size, literally from a size 4 to a size 12, all weighing the same based on body composition. So
yeah.
Okay, next live question comes from Annie, and she asks, what do you recommend for exercise to lose a few pounds, the last of the baby weight, while nursing? I want to make sure I'm still maintaining my milk supply, so cutting calories can be tricky.
You're going to have that coming up.
I know. I'm like in the heart of this with all my girlfriends. All my girlfriends are going through this and they're experiencing this, and they're like, I just want to lose those last couple of pounds and I've really tightened my diet, but then my milk supply drops, which is, it's challenging, you guys, because if you want to keep up your breast milk supply, you need to keep in a little bit extra carbs, that oatmeal, that all that, that stuff that's really keeping your breast milk up. But as soon as you go all green and start really leaning out and cutting back on carbs and trying to drop those last couple of pounds, your milk supply will drop. So it is a really fine line, unfortunately, baby, and something I'm learning.
Baby matters.
Baby wants you soft.
Well, and the baby, needs that nourishment. And this is just, it's hard because it's a certain part of your life. But, all of a sudden you look back and you go, oh, that wasn't so bad. That was just a few extra months or whatever it is. But I see a lot of women bounce back into shape from breastfeeding. And for me, I didn't breastfeed as long as a lot of people did, but I felt like I didn't quite lose those last few pounds till I was done breastfeeding. But, like towards the end, you kind of, so you just have a few extra pounds. It's more worth feeding the baby than it is to cut your calories at that point. But, when she says, can I lose a few extra pounds, to what you said earlier, just do a little extra cardio perhaps, get back in your weight training routine. Like, you can get back into the game.
Oh, yeah.
You can get totally back into the game and get back to your regular routine. So don't hold back the exercise necessarily, because that's not going to affect the milk supply, but it's the food, like you mentioned. You can't cut your calories too much.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. That's a challenging one. But as far as exercise, hopefully you're not having wrist pain, as I've heard that's associated with breast pain.
I did not have that.
I had no idea. But yeah, I would say get back into the routine, and like, it's all about listening to your body, right? Like, what feels good, but you really want to start building up that core again, right? And working on that transverse abdominis, keeping your core really tight throughout strength training and everything.
It's funny because it also depends on, like, when was the baby? Like, was the baby like 2 months ago or 12 years ago? Which for a lot of people, it's, it's still something that they're talking about. So.
And I've heard you have to give yourself grace.
Oh, give yourself grace. Honestly, those women who are back in their jeans in 2 weeks, like who are they and how did they do that? And no hate at all. I don't care. Me, it was like 7 months. Like at 5 months, I felt really good. At 7 months, I felt like I was me. And that's a really long time.
But it also took you 9 months to grow, you know, to grow the baby. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Terry asks, I work 10-hour shifts with an hour commute. Can you give me advice on how to plan my workouts?
Wow, that is some serious hours, girl.
That is. And nurses, too. I get this question from nurses a lot, those 12-hour shifts.
They're tough on your body. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I say is if you are working those long shifts at work, I'm not sure what your work, you know, what it's like. If it is flexible, try and get a lunch hour. Can you get it 20 minutes in over lunch? Is there a place for you to go? Can you do the body weight fusion in your office, you know, where you don't need any equipment? Or can you get a resistance band at work and do some strength training too? So even if it's like literally you get a 10 or 15 minute break, can you grab the resistance band and start, you know, moving your body and getting those intervals in? So necessarily, like a calorie is a calorie. A workout is a workout, whether it's split up into 10-minute intervals throughout the day or one long hour workout. Right?
Yep. I agree. And, you know, the thing is, if you're commuting for an hour or two and working for 10, 12-hour shifts, I mean, your day is going to get tough. Here's a couple questions. First of all, you must do that just a couple days a week, right? You those
like
split shifts.
Yeah.
So if you do that like 4 days a week, those other days, be really diligent about getting your longer workout in, fitting it in. And then to her point, just fit it in whenever you can. Doing extra squats, standing up and doing, you know, 10 chair squats every hour. Set a timer or something. Do push-ups into your desk. Take an extra lap around the office. Take your lunch hour and walk. Do whatever you can. Climb steps at your office. If you work in a building that has 12 flights of stairs, make it your goal that every day you're going to do it 3 times up and down. Something like that.
Yep.
Kudos to you. That is really tough. But a lot of people just try to fit it in. And like you said, little increments of a workout can be just as good in many cases as all at once. So go for it. Do what you can. And on those days off, then make those your really power days.
Right.
Because the CDC, the guidelines for exercise are 150 minutes of heart pumping exercise a week, divided up however you want. So 4 days, you only get in 10 minutes a day and you get 40 minutes. Then do 110 on those other 4 days. And maybe that's just 2 hour-long workouts. You know?
Yeah,
So.
just keeping moving that body and trying to fit some strength training in wherever you can, resistance band or whatever that looks like.
Yeah, don't exercise while you're driving if that's your commute. Do not. It drives me crazy when people are like, what can I do while I'm driving? Nothing. 2 hands
My
on
husband, I have to share this just because I make fun of him. My husband so he's trying to strengthen his hands because he loves doing pull-ups. And so his grip is stronger. So he got one of those things that you squeeze.
And does he squeeze it while he's driving?
While he's driving, he does 100 with each hand. And I
hope no one looks in.
I had to share that. I had to.
Please tell no one looks in and they're like, what is that mean?
Right? He's just like,
we're not even going to go there. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay, so you could do a hand exerciser if it doesn't distract you, but please don't start doing like some sort of neck roll or something, for goodness sake. However, if you are on a bus or you're on like the subway, you could try a little exercise. I don't know what's going to happen around you. But anyway, that's so funny. I love that. All right, let's go for the next question, Katie.
Okay, the next live question comes from Renee, and she says, Chris, now that you've tested out workout shoes, do you prefer the Nikes or the new brand that you're trying?
Okay, so I try a ton of shoes, probably like you. I have like 40 pair of tennis shoes, so I try a lot of them. I was telling everybody about the Hokas. So have you ever tried the Hokas?
No.
Hoka. I just posted them on Instagram a little while ago. They are really good for people who have back pain, and they're really good for aging joints, and they're known for runners. Runners and walkers. I have a couple good friends who are ex-marathoners. They're true runners. And when they started wearing Hokas, their back pain went away. So I tried them out. I love them for walking and running. I love them. They're a little orthotic looking. I picked out a pair that doesn't look quite so orthotic. They're more black. And I've been enjoying them a lot for walking and running. As a matter of fact, I ran 3 miles in them the other day, which for my back, I mean, I do a ton of exercise. I do plyometrics, but running long distances hurts me. And the Hokas were great. So I love Hokas. However, if I show you right here, I am wearing my Nike Lunar Glide.
so cute.
I am obsessed with Nike Lunar Glide. That is just my brand for me. They fit my feet well. I love the mesh toe box. I've got a wide foot. I like the big stable heel, but yet it's a flexible shoe. Mm-hmm. And the Lunar Glide just came out with version 8. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny because I love the version 5. I love the version 6. I hated the version 7. And now I love the version 8. So that's my story. What's your favorite shoe?
I played college volleyball, and so I got hooked on. I played volleyball my whole life, but into college, I got hooked on Asics and Mizunos, and that just
I love Asics for running.
and that transitioned over. So I Asics for running, and I actually just bought my first pair of like Asics like cross training shoes. So I'm testing them out, feeling it out. I'm not sure yet. I wore them for like 4 workouts, so I just got them. But I do love Mizunos too because I have skinny, narrow feet, and I really like that fitted shoe. So I like a fitted shoe.
So it all goes down to like the type of foot you have, because I have a wide foot, you have a skinny, narrow. Doesn't that figure? I have a wide foot. She has a skinny, narrow foot.
I just have skinny, and I like a tight shoe. Like I probably buy my shoes a size too small.
I like my
them
shoes
really
tight,
which is like, I don't know.
And that's why,
So
just
Mizuno.
for everybody at home, that's why I love this mesh on the shoe, because I buy them tight to begin, and then they always stretch a little bit over time, over the
Especially
course
if
of a
you're
month or
outside,
two. Or
get wet.
here's another thing that I do is that I always put my own insert in too, because the insert is the cheapest part of a shoe. So I put a Dr. Scholl's, just get a little arch support.
And you just get those at like Target or Walmart or like
Target.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, one more question, Katie. Go ahead.
Okay, next one comes from Kelly, and she says, do you feel like you're eating the same foods every day? How do you go about switching things up or not getting bored with certain foods? I feel like for protein sources, I eat the same thing every day, sometimes chicken twice a day.
I mean, that's normal, and some people it doesn't bother them. I like change. Me personally, and I'll say this quick and then let her, I love seasonal foods. Like, so now I'm into the harvesty stuff. Like, I've been eating sweet potatoes like I'm turning orange. Seriously turning orange, and pumpkin. And I like those squashy type vegetables in the fall. When I love apples right now. Like, I'm super into apples. I love like chicken right now. But then I'll get into the spring, and I love all the berries and all the new fruit that comes out in the summer. And I love fish all summer. And I love cold food in the summer. And I do a lot of soups and stews in the winter.
Yep.
So I like to just switch it up based on season too. And then meal prep. If you can do some meal prep, so you've got stuff in the fridge like, oh, I'm going to have chicken. Oh, I'm going to have fish. Oh, I'm going to have hard-boiled eggs. They're all ready to go.
Yeah, I would say the same. I love being seasonal, and I do have my staples like sweet potatoes, everything. I just try to mix it up. So sweet potatoes, sometimes I'll chop them and roast them. Sometimes I'll spiralize them and make spaghetti with them. So I use sweet potatoes for a base for a lot of things, but I just mix it up. So I'll roast them with rosemary. I'll roast them regular. I will make them into pancakes. I will spiralize them and use them for spaghetti. So I'm using sweet potato for like 7 different things, but I'm just using it in a different fashion.
Well, chicken does. I mean, that's like, I'll do 5 chicken breasts, and then I do them different for everything I'm making.
Exactly.
Like every meal, I'll chop them, I'll change them, I'll whatever. Okay, I hope that helps.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're running out of time here. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we're kind of out of it. Oh my gosh, everybody, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
This is so fun. Thank you for coming.
An hour goes so fast with you guys.
I know, it does. I love having Lindsey here. So you have to check out Lindsey's Metabolic Reboot. You have to check out Bar Sculpt, our combined body weight fusion, and insider information for anyone who's online right now. Lindsey is going to be filming a new pregnancy video series. Look at that cute baby bump. I can't even stand it. So we're going to have that coming to you probably in February of 2017, in just a couple months. So that'll be really exciting, as well as we'll get Lindsey to give you guys some really good pregnancy advice as she's post-baby. I can give you a lot of post-baby advice, but my brain might not remember it all. But I have 3 kids, so we've been there. But it's going to be super fun. So if you want a discount to Get Healthy UTV, give them your code, Lindsey.
LIND 10. So it's LIND10 is my code to get access to Get Healthy U for $10
for the year.
For the year.
For the year. So put her code in at checkout, and you can have a membership if you're not already a member for $10 for the year. That's 83 cents a month. Like I always say that, good Lord, think of the things you spend 83 cents on. But I don't want you, and I know Lindsey doesn't want you just to buy it and not use it. We want you to use it. So we hope you'll work out with us.
Yes.
Check out the body weight fusion workouts that we did together.
So good.
Let's see, some other housekeeping. We do have a Get Healthy UTV Facebook group that you can join. It's a private group that nobody from the public can see. We follow calendars every month in that group, so people have a lot of fun with it. You're welcome to join it. You just have to ask to join. We'll verify that you're a member, then we put you in the group, and a lot of fun conversation happens in that group. So please join. That's a good place to get some coaching advice. We'll have to get you in there if you want to give some
accountability and motivation.
Yep. We have a lot of, and people from Get Healthy U team to put up memes and stuff. So we have a lot of fun in there. And let's see what else. We do this live Q&A once a month. So I'm here once a month at 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll come back at the very beginning of December. We're going to only do one for November, December, because it is the holidays, and I know everybody's so busy. So we'll do one, and then we can hardly wait for 2017. We have a new dance program. Oh, one more thing, a new dance program. Jennifer Ghilardi is doing a new dance program. Now, if you guys know Jennifer, she's like the bomb when it comes to dance. I'm not a great dancer.
That's why I do it via Get Healthy You in the comfort of my own home, because I don't do it in front of other people.
You and I should not be in the video. I mean, hilarious. We could be the backup, but like, no. And not a chance. I would embarrass myself. I'll do it in the comfort of my own home. As a matter of fact, Jennifer sent me a little clip, and she did this body roll, and I said, okay, in the comfort of my home, it was still embarrassing. But she's amazing if you've ever followed her dance videos. So we're going to have a new program from her that isn't seen anywhere else. So I'm so excited. So stay tuned. We are so happy that you join us. Join us at Get Healthy You for our newsletters and our blogs and our free recipes. Check out Lindsey at Nourish Move Love. She is just the cutest thing ever. I can't wait to
It's growing.
see that baby bump grow. And we'll keep in tabs with Lindsey for any of you guys who are pregnant to talk about like how it goes throughout the 9 months.
Man, there's like so much around it.
It is. And back in the day when I know we're over time, but I just have to tell you, back in the day when I was pregnant, okay, so my kids are 24, 22, and 19. There was no such thing as pregnancy workout wear. So we took old shorts and we pulled them up over our bellies and we cut scissors cuts, seriously, just to get them up over the, it was so degrading. It was so horrible. Now there's all this cute pregnancy wear for all you cute ladies. So anyway, all right, well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us. You can always rewatch this or any other live. And remember, I come live on Lunch and Learn on Monday. So I'll see you Monday at noon if you want to join us. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, take care, everybody.
Guys.
Bye.